Hey everyone, Susan Gerbic from Psychics Explained. I just took a glance over at Thomas John. You guys remember Thomas John, the hot reader? He is an enormous grief vampire. And he's starting to upload videos again. I should definitely subscribe to his. Here, let me subscribe while I'm thinking about it. And I'm going to hit the little bell. Where's the little bell? There's this little bell. I want to hit his bell. There you go. So that I can get these messages because I've noticed today that he is starting to put readings back up on his YouTube channel. So before this, it's been 5 months. So I'm recording this September the 7th, 2025. I tried not to look at the date. I thought maybe I can know the date without having to look at my computer. No, I'm barely lucky. I know it's 2025. So he's kind of really disappeared. He got a lot of flack from people like myself going after him for, oh my gosh, years. I think I first started on him in 2017. He had a TV show called Seatbelt Psychic, and then he had a TV show called The Thomas John Experience. Both failed after one run. Then he had a gig in Vegas, and he was a resident medium there, and that failed when COVID happened. They shut down everything. Of course, he didn't tell anybody. So, then I released a FOIA information about him being having priors for fraud, not for psychics, but for selling or subletting apartments in various places around the United States that he had no keys to or anything like that. He would just sublet them to people. So he got arrested for that. It was a lineup and everything, and all the documentation is out there. I made an article for Skeptical Inquirer. I put all of the documents on the Wayback Machine, and so anybody could find them. I think it might be on the Wikipedia page somewhere. I'm not quite sure if it's linked there or not. Anyway, he moved to TikTok, and he was making a lot of sales on TikTok. People were throwing money at him, but what Thomas John was not doing, besides the fact that he can't communicate with the dead, and I proved in the New York Times article that he is hot reading his clients. And what happened with Thomas John is that he would make arrangements. He'd sell a reading, and he was constantly selling readings to people. In fact, I'm still on his email list, and I'm getting, um, you know, get a reading today on a sale. I've got this thing opening next week, and buy now and that kind of stuff. So he's doing a lot of that. But what was happening is he wasn't showing up for the readings. So he would schedule a reading either in person or online or whatever, email or whatever, and he wouldn't do it. And people would complain because they'd take times off from work or they'd get a babysitter and so on. And he just didn't show. And then they would write to him and he would say, nothing. He'd either say, "Oh, I got sick," or I had to pick somebody up at the airport, or my luggage got lost, or I mean, he had a whole bunch of excuses, and people were getting pissed because he would cancel over and over and over and over. Same people. Some people would have like years long lists of constantly rescheduling, and sometimes he would answer them, sometimes he wouldn't, and then yet he'd still put out new emails saying, "Hey, book an appointment with me for next week." And so these Facebook groups started. I didn't start them, but there's a couple Facebook groups that just look at this Thomas John stuff and say they want a refund and they can't get a refund. And then Thomas John lost the ability to use PayPal, probably because he was getting too many refunds. And then he went to TikTok, and it was just him on TikTok. And I kind of lost track because, there's other psychics out there that need my attention. And Thomas John, I mean, how many times can you prove this man is just the lowest scum of the earth? Anyway, so I just took a look at Suzanne Northrup's YouTube channel because she is heavily endorsed by Thomas John. She is not a hot reader, she's a cold reader. So I noticed that she had a gallery reading with Thomas John. And I thought, well, should I show you guys that today? Should I break it down? The problem with doing those is whenever you're looking at Thomas John, you know he's hot reading. So then you stop and you have to go find where it is, the social media for the person that he's hot reading to show he is hot reading. And it's just time consuming. And I wasn't really feeling like doing that right now. So I went over to Thomas John's page, his YouTube channel, and I see he's got a whole bunch of videos uploaded in the last month, which is really unusual because I didn't think he was adding stuff to his YouTube channel. Why bother? He's got 30,000 subscribers, which is far more than I have, but far less than you would have if you're communicating with the dead. He also was kind of run off of social media, especially Facebook, because he had so many fake accounts posting as himself, and they were reaching out to the psychic to believers and saying, hey, this is Thomas John, I'm getting a message for you. And he would private message them. This fake account would private message his fans and then call them all sorts of offensive names and try to get money out of them. And the fans, not knowing how to tell the difference, would believed it was Thomas John. So Thomas John got a lot of pushback from people who believed these fake accounts were his accounts, and they're not. They're fake. And this is plaguing a lot of psychics. They know that their followers aren't necessarily the most savvy when it comes to social media. And if you have a large group of people, you only need a few people to fall for it, and you've made some money. A lot of these people are coming from countries where, $10 is a lot of money for them. So, and you're preying on an American who just lost $10. They're like, oh God, that was stupid. I just lost $10. But no big deal to the Americans, but it's a huge deal to the person who's in another country who's subsiding on, a dollar or $2 a day. Anyway, my point is he seems to be back putting up videos on YouTube, which is really interesting. So I thought we'd take a look at him. I looked at one that was 30 seconds long. The other thing that's interesting is these are very short, under like 2 or 3 minutes. So he's editing them. I have a feeling they are TikTok videos. He's doing TikTok live, and then he's cutting them and putting them up on his YouTube channel. I really just don't know why. These could be monetized, but because I have a premium subscription for YouTube, so I can't tell if they're monetized or not because it just looks like just a normal video. No, I can't tell if there's commercials or not in things. But he's getting almost no views. So these are getting 200, 300 views. Here's one that's 700 views, but that's still not enough money that's still enough views to make some money. For example, I have almost 2,000 subscribers. My videos get probably 60 to 80 views, which is not very much, but it's fine because it's a niche. It's a community. People are responding. They're talking to me. We're learning together, and you guys are giving me new names of psychics I hadn't thought of, and giving me insight. So this is kind of more of a working project here, Psychics Explained. Anyway, so I'm getting maybe 100 views, 80 views a video, and I make about $100 a year on my monetized projects videos. So the whole channel brings me $100 a year. So I'm making maybe 10 cents a video, something like that. I put out. I'll make 10 cents on this, you guys. So my point is, why is Thomas John putting these things up on YouTube? He can't be making money off of it. I mean, what? He made $2 off a video? He can't be that desperate, can he? Why put it up? Is it evidence? Is it, I don't know. It's just odd. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. Let me flip this over so you guys can see. I'm looking at the channel. You can see he's wearing the same outfit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos in this outfit. 5 months ago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has 7 videos from here. And then up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. I don't know what this is, but it's got 700 views. So he's taking a readings he's doing on probably TikTok, and he is just clipping them down to 2 or 3 minutes, which is interesting. Is that how long his TikTok videos are? I haven't been following him on TikTok. I mean, it's just too much on TikTok. I haven't been following anybody. I don't know. The rules over there are so strange where people can just say anything, I guess. Oh, and you feel like you're educating a whole new community of people, 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds. What do you mean psychics aren't real? What? I thought psychics were real. I saw Tyler Henry on TV. I saw this guy on TV. He must be real. Why would they allow him on TV? Okay. Let's look at a few of these because I'm curious too. Okay. So yeah, I guess we work backwards because he's putting them up when you put up a load of video on YouTube. The most recent one is going to be when I'm looking at the video screen, which is just showing straight up the videos as he uploads them. So let's look at them in the backwards order. Let's pick these ones with the light colored shirt on. They're a month old, so they should be all relevant. Now, I'm not going to take the time to go and look these people up because I really don't think I'm going to be able to find them because he's looking at TikTok. So what happens is he says, I'll give somebody a reading on TikTok. He might even be doing it for free as a way of trying to get them to buy a full reading, which of course he's not going to show up for. And so I can't see the social media. Now, if he was doing a Zoom call with her, then I would be able to see if she had written her name on the Zoom screen, we would see her name written at the bottom of the Zoom screen, and then we could look her up on social media. But let's see.
Okay, so Maria, you're a Zoom user?
Maria.
Maria, okay.
Sorry.
And your grandmother was an A name?
My mother's last name, both last names married and before marriage were A.
Okay, okay. So we can take that then. And she had a West Coast connection?
She lived in San Diego, yes.
She lived in San Diego. Guys, I just wanted to say too also, is there anybody on here, because I'll get simultaneous people too. Is there anybody on here that would connect to the name Betty?
That's it? That's it? What did we just see? Did he just have like a random what was that all about? 37 seconds. Why did he intentionally clip that and put it up on YouTube? I guess we'll have to keep looking, but that was strange. Okay. I don't get it. So boy, he hasn't aged at all. He looks the same as the last I've seen him. I probably look like I've aged quite a bit. My hair is certainly getting longer. Can't get any grayer. It is as gray as it gets. This is not blonde, you guys. This is gray hair. when I went through chemo and lost all my hair, I in 2014, I just let it grow out. I stopped dyeing it. Oh my gosh, what a relief to stop dyeing my hair. And I haven't cut it since the pandemic, I don't think, since before the pandemic. So this is just grown out hair from chemo. Yes, it does grow back curly. Mark's did when he had chemo twice. He's had 2 different times of chemo. He both times he got curly hair. It was really cute, but it only curls, it when it comes back, it curls, and then as it grows out, then the curls fall out, and so they become straight over time. If you have straight hair, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but anyway, let's see. There's another. The next one is a minute and 17 seconds long. So let's see if that's got something more in it. No idea.
Okay.
Here we go. He's going to read a woman. Her name is not on the screen, so I can't look her up. I know he's hot reading because I've got, you guys, there's a whole playlist out here of him hot reading and us proving he's hot reading. This has got 411 views. It's a month ago. Have a chance if it's your reading online. 38 likes. You can't see negatives anymore. Okay, let's see what he says.
I wanted to bring this up too, because I keep seeing this. Something about like going through reports or organizing reports or something with that. I don't know. Do you understand that at all?
I've been trying to go through all of his stuff.
Your dad's stuff?
Yeah, and all the papers and the photographs and the letters and the yeah.
I also keep hearing something about like call Pam.
That's who I live with, my sister, Pam.
Okay. Do you have anybody in spirit that was a teacher?
A lot of teachers. My
Okay.
dad was a teacher, his sisters were teachers.
Okay.
My grandmother was a teacher.
Okay. They said also too that I don't know if you're planning a family dinner or doing something with, for some reason are you doing anything with that? Are you like planning a dinner or something?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Did your dad like family dinners?
My mother and both my parents did, yeah.
Oh yeah, they hated
Okay. 'Cause
family
I feel
dinners.
like, yeah, they're showing me almost like a memory of that, like remembering doing.
That was strange. That was so strange. It just cuts off. Why is he's already called this woman out of the audience? So because he already knows her father's dead. So he's like, who here has okay, so he does a gallery reading. There's all these people on TikTok. He used to do this all the time on Zoom. And he would say, hey, who has a father who's recently passed? And then he might give a little bit more information, hoping that the person will say, oh, that's me. This guy probably, Thomas John, could have easily have clicked on her social media and found that she has a sister, or she lives with somebody named Pam. I like that. That was really good. He put in, call Pam. I've not seen him do that before. That's a nice line. I'm not endorsing this guy, but I'm just saying that's something new. And that's a clever way of getting to, instead just saying, who's Pam, which is what normally Thomas John would do. But he's saying, I'm getting a call Pam. Mark was really good at that too. You could give him the hot reading cues and you say, here's all the hot reading. And Mark would come back and he would find a way of saying it without blatantly saying, I'm getting a father named Pam or Bob or whatever. Now this Dean guy, Psychic Dean, that I've done a couple videos of on my channel, Psychic Medium Dean, I think that's his name. I've only just started watching his videos, but he's at the point where he's still saying stuff like, and who is Bob? And, I'm getting a Logan, that kind of thing. And it's kind of a newbie thing. As you become more experienced at it, you come up with cleverer ways of disguising your hot reading hits you've got. And so that I'm getting a call Pam, that was really good. I don't have a problem at all with that. I mean, I do, but I have, it's more, I can see the art of it. God, I'm starting to sound like Mark Edward. Jeez. Okay. So this man, Thomas John, knows that he's seeing that the person in front of him has lost her father. And I probably knows it's recently. So anybody who's dealt with a death or been an executor for a death knows you deal with a lot of paper when somebody has died, not only reporting them as being having died and double checking the Social Security is canceled, the voter registration. Social Security and voter registration, FYI, are deleted almost immediately. So anybody who thinks that the dead are still voting and still getting Social Security checks are full of shit. Okay, sorry, just straight up there. That ain't happening in the United States of America. Maybe in the past, but nowadays it's like the funeral place reports the person has died and everything's canceled. And that's just how it is. I immediately got confirmation from other places. I went down to the Social Security office when Mark died to make sure it was canceled. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's already been canceled. You know, like the day he died, the day the day the funeral home got it. Anyway, I'm getting morbid. The point is that there's a lot of paperwork to deal with when somebody has died. Not even just, let's say you're not the executor and you're not having to deal with like insurance forms and banking and all that, but you've got a lot of people you got to contact, you hope to contact, so you want to look through his address book and you look through their phone and you look through their correspondence, their email, and see who they might have had contacts with, and you're trying to reach out to them or cancel appointments, doctor's appointments. It's just so much work to do. It's just days and days of reports. So for him to say to this woman, are you dealing with a lot of paperwork, isn't very, it's pretty, that's not much of a guess. Okay. Also about teachers, is there a teacher in your life is there a teacher in your family that's kind of, yeah, well, of course there is. I mean, somebody's got teachers in your family. And if it didn't hit, I mean, I'm trying to say, I don't think it's a hot reading. It's just a Barnum statement to say, are there teachers in your family? Is not much of a bold statement because most people are going to say, oh yeah, or my son is in school right now. He thinks he might want to become a teacher, or my daughter got through high school by tutoring people. I mean, you reach for it to try to make it hit is what I'm trying to say. And in this case, it hit with this woman had a lot of teacher related people in her life. It hit, but sometimes it's going to hit. And if it doesn't hit, then it doesn't become a video on YouTube. He also says that there was a family dinner. Did your father really like family dinners? I'm thinking, no, dad hated family dinners. He hated it. He hated his family. Of course. Mom also did too, which is another way of saying mom is dead, so that he can now move into mom. But the way it's just ended, that's just so strange. Okay, let's go through these 6. Okay, that's 2. Let's 4 more. They're very short. This one is 2 minutes, 53 seconds long. So let's see what we get from this. Oops, I got to pull it up first because otherwise.
You said your mom.
I have to pull it up and then I have to share. Let me back it up a little bit.
You said your mom is, you understand passing a long time ago, you understand your cancer. She had cancer.
Yes.
Okay. There's something that she's showing me. There's something that she's showing me about, I'm not really sure what this is, but it's something about a trip.
What's he
And it's
looking at there,
something
you
about a
guys?
trip that she's happy that I don't really know what it is. It's something about a trip and she's happy that you're taking it. So I don't know.
Okay, so before we go much farther, one of the things I noticed, or my team noticed with Thomas John during the pandemic, we spent a lot of time on Thomas John, is that he would glance down, like I'm doing right now, into the right-hand corner of the computer screen right before he would look up, and he would say, and who is Bob? So it was like he would be kind of rambling. Yeah, well, I don't really know what she meant by this. And it's really kind of not sure if it would be and then he'd glance down, he'd look up straight in the person's, whoever he's on the screen with, and say, and who is Steve? I mean, he would say it just like that. And then the person would go, oh my God, that's my dad. You know, it would be just that blatant. So what I have thought is that he's got somebody doing the research for him of whoever's on the screen with him at the moment. And in the lower right-hand corner, he was getting a text message, like a messenger message or something of the sort was appearing on the screen that just says Steve. And that would be enough that Thomas John would need to know. He just says, and who is Steve? Because you don't need to know, oh, is Steve dad? Is Steve the brother-in-law? Is Steve the doctor who delivered them? No. You just say, who's Steve? And if it doesn't hit, you just move on. But Thomas John, did you just notice? No, pay attention. He's looking like this. He's doing a lot of looking. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 screens in front of me right now. Plus I have my phone. So that's 5 screens. And I could pull out multiple laptops and put them here. If I wanted to put a laptop right here on my sitting next to me, you guys wouldn't know it's sitting next to me, but I would be glancing down at my laptop. And that could easily be what's happening too, is you have a laptop. We've done this in a few of our stings where there's something happening on the laptop that is not, it can't be seen in the gallery reading. Operation Banana Cream Pie, which I haven't released yet, is how we did that. We had a whole conversation going on a laptop that was completely independent from the other computer that we were using. So you could have a laptop here. Look at where my hand is. Okay, so here's my hand. If I put where a laptop would be, it'd be right here. And you can't even see that. That's completely out of your scope. I mean, I have a microphone right here. You can't even see it. It's just out of frame. The way you angle your screens. So he could be looking at another computer right now without him doing the work himself, but somebody off camera doing the work and just sending it over. So I haven't watched this video. This is the first time I'm seeing it myself. It's got 734 views. That's a lot. It's not money. It's not real money, but it is more than I usually get. It's more than Thomas John usually gets. I'm looking at this woman's screen. Let's look at this. Look at all this stuff on here. This woman is really into her family. Lots and lots of black and white photos. This is a tree. So this is what she's got painted on here is a family tree. So each branch has like a little, this is really kind of cute. I have a friend that has something like this. A tree, and then each area has like a thing of photos on it of the tree. It's very charming. So I don't know what's behind her here, but it looks like this woman's very much into her family and very much into genealogy and photos, obviously preserving her family photos. So it doesn't surprise me at all that she would be interested in, what's going on in her family's past. So okay, so look at Thomas John is looking off screen a lot. Let's see if he's getting specific hits that are directly after he's taken a good glance at something. I don't know what to expect because it's been, like I said, it's been a year or more since I've looked at Thomas John video.
Are you planning a trip or something?
Yes.
Okay. So she's happy that you're taking this trip. And what she's saying is that, like, I don't know if it's something that really would involve her, but it's just something that she's saying she's happy that you're taking the trip. And also, Carrie, do you have any memory with your mom where you guys, and it doesn't have to be like a big, huge thing, but do you have any memory with your mom where you guys might have been, near a beach at all?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like she's showing me this as something, and I don't know, she keeps showing me this. And I feel like it's the memory that I'm seeing, it's kind of like she's younger in it. Did she die fairly young?
Fairly, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I guess, yeah, she's just kind of showing me this. It's like a memory that she's showing me. And did you go with her to the beach?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, so I guess she, yeah. And also, do you have anything of hers where I would be seeing that you have, do you have like a wedding ring of hers?
I do.
Okay. So yeah, she keeps kind of acknowledging that. And I feel like she's just kind of acknowledging that. Um, okay. Um, do you wear it?
I used to wear it.
Okay.
I don't now.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, got you. Okay, so I think that's more of just an acknowledgement. Okay. All right, Carrie, thank you. We're gonna go on to somebody else, guys. I gotta shift focus because it's like there's other people coming.
Okay. So,
So
oops, dude, watch, calm down. So he is very difficult to watch. His speech patterns, his ums and ahs are very difficult to watch. But I don't want to say much about that because, and his mannerisms and his scratching and all that kind of stuff, because that has nothing to do with his grief vampirias. And I think that it's important we still need to watch this kind of stuff and get past the fact that he's difficult to hear. I know Fleur has been telling me that she won't watch Matt Fraser anymore. His voice is like nails on a chalkboard to her. I can handle Matt Fraser, sort of. Thomas John, I was watching so much of him. I swear I could hear his voice in my dreams. And it is really hard for me. But I think it's important that we as researchers, as adults, should not be making fun of people because we find them difficult or anything of the sort. And besides, if you truly had a gift of being able to speak to the dead, we don't know what that would be like. Would it make you twinge? Would it make you cough a lot? Would it make you have very strange speech patterns? Would it give you like tic syndromes, kind of just we don't know what that would be like. We don't know what it would be like to constantly see dead people or have dead people intruding into your thoughts. I can't even imagine how horrible that would be. Very intrusive. It would be very difficult to maintain relationships. So just take that off the table. This guy kind of makes you cringe when you watch him. And let's just concentrate on what he's saying and what he's doing and what he's doing to these women. Okay, so let me be clear about that. Thomas John didn't really say much in this one. Do you have your mom's wedding ring? Well, somebody has your mom's wedding ring. If it's not her, somebody had it, unless they buried her with it. And that's possible. Some people would be buried with their ring, but somebody has a ring. She says, "Did you wear it? Used to wear it?" And she says, "Sometimes." That was just a statement. He said, "So do you have your mom's wedding ring?" And she said, "Yes." And then he's like, "Did you used to wear it? Or do you wear it?" And she said, "I used to." And he says, "Yeah, well, that's just an acknowledgement of, I guess it's just a confirmation." No, it's nothing. It's just a statement. It wasn't even really whatever. So nothing specific, but I was really wondering about him looking down so much. He really didn't come up with anything that I would be considered hot reading on that at all. So, okay, let's do these other couple and then be done with him. This one is 341 views a month ago. I wonder why that other one had 700 views. Because it was longer, but it wasn't much in it.
Girl that you're close to, and her mother died, Cindy.
Yes, and I'm
Okay.
so thankful that she's with me because Cindy left me a gem of a daughter.
Okay.
Oh,
Did you know her in life?
I did.
Okay. getting also something about West Coast. And I'm getting something about,
Look how he's looking.
I'm sorry, no, I'm getting something about Ohio.
Yes,
Okay,
that's where she was from.
okay.
I think he's looking at
So,
her social media.
she keeps saying also that something happened on the left side of her body. So I don't know if she had something wrong on the left side of her body. I don't know if something affected
Gunshot?
her on the left side of her body.
What would it be?
She overdosed.
Okay.
She overdosed on the left side of her body.
And I feel also she showed me an image in my head of daisies. Do you understand that at all?
Sorry, that's her daughter.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay.
I don't understand daisies,
Okay.
but she did have. I saw an image of a house that had white flowers in front of it, so it could be
Okay.
significant.
Okay. And do you understand?
Okay, we're halfway through, so let me interrupt. I shouldn't be laughing because the woman had an overdose. That's very sad. But he was going with something happened on the left side of her body. Something on the left side of her body. So, okay, so it sounds specific at first because he says, Cindy left you her daughter. And what happened off screen, what we can't see because we're not watching, we're not live on the TikTok, is that Thomas John says, I'm getting somebody who has a Cindy who has passed away and something about a daughter. And this woman says, that's me. And then he says, okay, let's go and record your image and my image and let's do a reading. And she's like, okay, that's how it happens on these events. It's not like he pulls up some stranger and now she's in front of him and he says, you have a person named Cindy in your life who died, who left you a daughter. That's not how it's happening. It is happening off screen. And now he's confirming it now that she's on screen and they're recording the video that was clipped into this YouTube video. So I'm just being clear about that. And so when he says there's something on the left side of her body, which is really an odd thing. Okay, I guess. I don't know what. Is the heart on the left side? Cancer. You don't usually have cancer on the left side. Well, I guess if you have breast cancer, my breast cancer was on my right side. So I guess that could be a side until it metabolizes and it goes all over your body and kills you. There is no side there. I speak quite frankly about cancer, you guys. I don't like the personally, it bothers me to hide some of this stuff. And you fine if you don't want to talk about your cancer and you want to keep it private, that's entirely you. But me, I'm very clear about it. It's a devastating, horrible thing, but it also can be something that is curable and we can survive from. So, so having something on your left side, I'm thinking, what, you were shot on the left side? You were in a car accident or something hit you on the side of the head and the left side. What would it be that would be something that kills you and it's on the left side? I wasn't thinking of anything, but then she says, oh, it was an overdose. And you notice how he just skipped that right past that. Oh, okay. Let's go on to something else. Do you have a teacher in your family? So I'm not laughing at her. And she seems like a very charming woman. Her name is not on the screen, so I cannot research her and find out who she was. The only way you could really do that kind of stuff is after the fact, is if their name's there. Or you can find the thread on Facebook or TikTok or wherever where the people are talking and the woman says, that's me. I have a person named Cindy. And I mean, it's possible we could do it. We could go to TikTok. We could find this event, this gallery reading that he's doing, and find the person who's saying, my name, I have somebody in my life whose name is Cindy. And yeah, and then you could click on her social media and see if it comes up with the name of Ohio. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. This video is uploaded July 7th, 2025. July 7th. 2025. I'm just making a note of that just in case. It is a woman whose name is, what was her name? Can't think, but she has a Cindy. Left a child. So we're getting an Ohio reference. Let's see what else. I don't know, maybe we should go look. I I I I am just very curious about these things. Okay, let's see.
And somebody has or kept her glasses.
Yes, Jamie did.
Yeah, we rarely get
Jamie kept her glasses?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just like she just to keep them type of thing?
She was a stenographer, so she kind of has like a few things of hers. She still has her stenography piece, and she has like a file cabinet with some of her mom's things, and one of them is her glasses.
Okay. And do you know anything where this woman is telling me there was a lot of confusion when she passed? There was a lot of confusion about sort of like what had happened and just a lot of confusing energy that happened. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I see something about going through the old pictures this woman is talking about. So I don't know if they were recently doing that or if that's, do you understand that at all?
It wasn't too long ago that we decided to transfer them to a storage. Yes. So
Okay.
that they would be digital.
And I also am picking up about somebody having keeping notes from her.
Jamie did.
Okay. And I'm also getting something about cuts on the arm.
I believe Jamie was a cutter when she was younger.
Okay. And also, who was a home health aide?
She was.
Like they worked with disabled children.
Yes, that was her.
Okay. And do you know with your do you know if there's some of those people that they stay in touch with?
Jamie stays in touch with one of the moms and the child passed and they still have a connection.
Okay. Who is Bernard?
That's my
Bernard.
brother.
Okay. Is he in the living?
Yes, he hit on her.
He hit on on who?
He hit on Jamie's mom.
Okay, got you. Okay. And then do you know also with your brother, is there something where I would be seeing that there's like a little bit of a divide and you like I still feel you're close, but they keep showing me this.
See how he's looking off to
We
the
are
side?
not in touch for close to 7 or 8 months.
Okay. I did want to say too, there's a younger male that is with Jamie's mom.
Yeah.
They're saying that it is her nephew.
Yeah, could be.
So I don't know if she might have lost a nephew.
Jamie has many relatives that have passed.
Okay.
Well, I think there's some hot reading going on there, especially with the Bernard that showed up. So, yeah, what a sweet woman that was. So you don't usually get rid of glasses, maybe old prescriptions. I've got a bag of them of marks that I'm just trying to figure out where in the heck to donate these. I go in and they don't have a donate box and you're like, come on now. But there are some glasses I have kept of his because they just meant so much to him. He was a huge reader. So I have the books, I have his most recent glasses, sitting on shelves and stuff as a reminder. So people don't get rid of glasses as much as you think. Especially current glasses. And Bernard, he says, "Who's Bernard?" And she says, "That's my brother." And then he said, "So your brother, is he living or dead?" I mean, you would think that Thomas John would know that. And then he said, "So your brother, is there something about," as if he's known it was her brother all along. No, he didn't. All he knew was Bernard. And she says it's her brother. And then he starts telling stories. So I don't know if you notice how that's falling, how that hits. I don't know. This whole thing is kind of strange. I think we have one more.
Yeah,
Let's
your
see.
mom.
Oops. Let's go back over here and see. I have two more. So, and one of them is a must watch evidence. Let's get through these here.
And then your mom's talking about something too.
Let me make sure it's not the same one that I just did. Okay.
Mom's talking about something too, where she's saying that sometimes she'll visit you and she'll come to you through like a smell of perfume.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, he's got a guy.
Is that your mom more? That I feel like that's your mom more than your grandmother.
Yeah, yeah, that's my mom.
And your mom's saying it's like a very distinct thing and you'll smell it and you kind of know that it's her connecting with you.
Yeah, because actually yesterday was the 14th anniversary of her murder.
Murder.
Your mom's?
Yeah, because that was actually my great grandma's birthday, which was my grandma's mom, who's also in spirit.
Okay. Okay.
Who murdered her?
Okay. Yeah. 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 And then the perfume smell, I feel
Tell us,
like
Thomas.
that's probably more from I think that's more your mom then.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And your grandmother is saying that she knows about some of the changes that you're trying to make in your life. She says that she knows that you're trying to make some shifts and changes in your life. I don't know if does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who
it
is
is,
it?
Saying
yeah.
about like financial changes you're trying to make, and I feel like I don't know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, because it's just like a mess right now with her brothers and sisters, and it's just like a complete mess right now
Mm-hmm. Okay.
with that.
Yeah, they're saying always drama, things like that. But I do feel, yeah, they're trying to well, they're telling me that things are going to be getting better. You're going to be making some better financial, like I see things kind of picking up for you, if that makes sense. So,
Yeah, yeah, I kind of feel that, because actually, I think it was last week I saw this ladybug about a week or so ago, some ladybugs, and I saw this red cardigan bird. I'm like, okay, is that my grandma or my mom or what?
Yeah. Yeah, well, sometimes, especially because you're saying also these two people were very close to each other, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So a lot of times too, with spirit people, they can kind of overlap too. That can be something that can happen. They can kind of come in together too. That's something that can happen too. So, yeah. Okay, all right, Terry. Well, thank you. I'm glad we were able to connect with you a little bit. I'm going to go to another person if you don't mind.
thank you, Thomas.
Okay, thank you.
Ah, we have a name on that one. Terry Dodd. Terry Dodd. I didn't remember until I tried to go over to TikTok to look up Thomas John. He's got me blocked. So I'd have to use a different account, and I don't feel like going and doing it right now. But if anybody out there watching right now wants to go and try to find video from July 7th, or maybe the 6th, if it was uploaded on the 7th, and see if you can find this thread where he's wearing this outfit, it visually looks like this, and look at the comments and see if we can find somebody whose name is Terry Dodd, TerryDodd, and see if you can find his reading and what he says, and maybe see if you can find this other woman who has a friend whose name is Cindy, who died from Ohio, and Jamie is the adopted child of the person who just got the reading. I was thinking about that cutting remark. He said, "What's this about somebody cutting marks in the arm?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think that Jamie, this person who's now my adopted daughter, was a cutter when she was young in life." And it's like, really, do you want to say that in the public? I mean, that's just kind of really, come on. I know we Americans kind of share everything, and we don't have a lot of shame, and we just share stuff. I don't know. I don't think I'd say something like that about one of my children unless they were talking about it and it was part of their life where they'd say, yeah, I used to cut myself when I was a kid. I don't think I'd be talking about it, but we don't know. We don't know. So, okay, one more. What'd you think of that? I was waiting for him to say, oh, here's the murderer of your mom. Again, I'm laughing. I'm not really laughing. I have seen Thomas John say, and I have these videos on my playlist for Thomas John that say, somebody overdosed and he'll say, well, I think it was a criminal act. And they're like, really? And he's, yeah, I think we'll have to look into that because somebody else was responsible. It wasn't a normal overdose. I think somebody wanted to get rid of him, or he'll say stuff like that. And I think it's a way of, making the whole audience get all excited, like, oh, wow, he's uncovered a murder. And also for the parent to say, I want to get more readings with you. Another one I heard him say was a woman was talking about how her daughter had been murdered. And Thomas John saying, I have some ideas about that. One of the people that you didn't know was involved is involved. And she's like, really? I've been going to the police all the time trying to get them to reopen this case. And he's like, yeah, I think we could do that. Nothing ever happens. We never hear anything else again. But I think, again, it's a way of getting the person to want to rebook an appointment and makes the rest of the people on the screen get all excited about whatever's happening. He never reveals anything. He never says the name. He could get sued. That would be one big way of getting sued. If you were to accuse somebody of a crime on video and that person got wind of it and it kind of ruined their reputation or whatever, somebody came to harm them because they said the psychic told them that they were involved. That might be how somebody would get finally ended in the psychic world, but it's going to take something about that equivalent to get some of these people off of the internet. There's that one woman who, medium, do you remember the Idaho 4 that were murdered and Brian Kohlberger was guilty, admitted his guilt? And there is a psychic medium who came out and said that the person responsible for the murders was this female professor that was responsible. And the female professor's like, what the heck? I don't know any of these people. And then the psychic kept doubling down and saying, yes, it is her. And they had a relationship and on and on. So apparently that is going out in court. I think that thankfully the professor is like, oh no, and trying to get convictions, like a criminal conviction against the medium who is just went all out on this claim. I mean, called out this person by name as being responsible before we knew who was responsible. So, but it's some no-name psychic, so it's not like, Thomas John's a little too savvy to he's a little too savvy to call out somebody's name on screen. He would allude to it. He'd say, like I said, well, there's somebody who you thought was a friend of theirs, and actually they were responsible. I could see him saying that, but not. And their name is Joseph Smith, and they live at such and such avenue, and here's their social security number. Okay, it's the last one. 4 minutes. It's got 356 views. Let's see what we got.
Is there something that I would be seeing where you are trying to deal with something or sort out something with your brother?
Well, my brother and I have always been disconnected.
Okay.
So it sounds
Okay.
like no. The answer is no.
And
You're not trying to sort something.
and how does that make sense to you?
Because we were always disconnected, and right now, my stepfather is in the hospital and my brother isn't around helping. I have her dogs right here.
Okay. Let me ask you this too. Would this make sense to you if she's talking about watching over Edward or Eddie?
That's her husband.
Okay. Is that the one that you're having the problems with?
No.
Well,
Well, I'm
Stepfather's
actually
the
getting
husband.
two Edwards.
Thomas, you're amazing because my dad, her ex-husband, but they were still close, is ill and he's having surgery Friday. And her husband is Ed, that's my stepfather, and we took him to the ER Friday night and he's in the hospital right now. And I'm taking care of everyone.
And I bet you're
Okay,
posting about
okay.
it on your
It's
social
amazing.
media. Right? Oh, Thomas, you're amazing. See, that's how the sitters are. She's in grief. She's in stress. So first she starts out with, are you having a problem with your brother? You know, are you trying to work something out with your brother? And she says, no, we're totally disconnected and have been for years. So that's a no, Thomas. She's not trying to work out something with her brother. And whenever she starts talking about her father-in-law, her stepfather, she says, yeah, and my brother's not around. He's not helping at all. Well, that's still not working something out with your brother. I'm frustrated because my brother is disconnected from the family. That's not, we're trying to work something out. And the woman's trying to pull this into the reading. You can tell she's a motivated sitter. She badly wants the sitting to be about the dogs and her stepfather and her mom. And the dogs are right here, kind of thing. So yes, she's probably posting about this on her social media about Edward and Ed. And Thomas John just noticed it. Either somebody gave it to him or he's just looked it up. I would not be surprised. Somebody out there who has some time, please go and now I'm really curious. And I can't do it because I'm banned on TikTok from him. So I can't find this thread, but somebody, it wouldn't be that hard. Find July 6th or July 7th of this year's readings by him and look at the comments underneath and see if you can find these women or after, and that other man, Terry. And after the fact, what happens is he'll hang up with them and then they'll say, thank you so much, Thomas. That meant so much to me. You'll see their name and click on that social media and do some screenshots and send them to me. I really am curious. Yeah. I'm very curious now. See, Susan, I shouldn't be doing this today. Let's finish off this reading. Oh, I wanted to mention that other thing about the guy, Terry Dodd. He's like some ladybugs and a red bird. I'm thinking, is that my mom? Is it my grandma? See, when you're in this worldview that you see connections and signs everywhere, it's because you're looking for them. If I saw a ladybug, I certainly wouldn't look at the ladybug or a bunch of ladybugs and say, is that my mom? But if you're in this world, this mindset, that's what you are looking for. You're looking for signs. You're conditioned to it. You believe this. So it's not an intelligence kind of thing. It's just that is how you were raised. And that is how you have been conditioned to believe that ladybugs are actually the reincarnation of your mom or dad, or they sent the ladybug to you, I guess. None of it makes sense, so it doesn't matter.
That you
Okay.
knew there was two
So
Edwards.
you've got really two different things with that.
And my brother is Edward.
Okay, and your brother that you had the problems with sometimes?
Hmm.
Not problems with sometimes.
And
they're
you know,
disconnected
also
sometimes.
your mom is talking about this. She says that she sees how you're trying to help Diane.
Diane is
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Her mom's alive. Her mom has dogs. She's taking care of the dogs. They took the stepfather. So who is he talking to? Wait a second here. He screwed up. Or I screwed up. Which of us is screwed up? Diane? Wait, what? Her mom is alive. Why is he talking to her mom? I'm backed it up a little bit. Let's see. Can't believe I have to watch this again.
Okay.
it's amazing that you
Okay.
knew there was two
So
Edwards.
you've got really two different things with that.
I'm going to back it up a
And
little bit more.
but they were still close, is ill and he's having surgery Friday. And her husband is Ed, that's my stepfather, and we took him to the ER Friday night and he's in the hospital right now. And I'm taking care of everyone.
Okay. Okay.
It's amazing
Yes,
that you
now I'm
know
talking
the
to a
So,
responders.
psychic.
you've got really two different things with that.
And my brother is Edward.
Okay, and your brother that you had the problems with sometimes?
Hmm.
Okay. And
No.
you know, also your mom is talking about this. She says that she sees how you're trying to help Diane.
Diane is amazing. Diane is my stepmom, my dad's wife, and they were all friends. And she's not very medically
Yeah.
good known, so I'm going to support them because I know more medical stuff.
Okay. Okay. No, I feel like that's what I'm seeing is that they're saying that it's kind of been like it's something where you are your mom sees what's going on, you know. Of course, there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot going on with us. It feels like a very, very stressful situation,
No
you know.
kidding.
Mhm.
Yes.
So
Is her mom dead?
so you're trying to just kind of
Help everyone.
help everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I'm
So,
here seeking out
And
a
her
medium.
dog is sitting here like she knows you're talking to her. He's just looking at me.
Did your mom keep showing me this too? I keep um do you do you understand like she would always get the same breed of dogs?
Lots of people.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And how do you understand that?
Well, there's her Japanese chin right there.
Oh wow, I can see. Okay, cool.
No, you
She
can't.
has
Sorry.
she had 3 Japanese chins. One passed,
Okay.
and I have
It's
2
like,
of them
whatever.
right here because
Okay.
her husband, my stepdad's in the hospital, so I'm
Okay.
taking care of him.
So you're the one taking care of them. Yeah. And I wonder too, Christina, that might be also
Looking
where
for Christina.
some of the depression came in, because I wonder like if it's just less like depression, you know, and more just like I wonder if it's kind of also like you are just really feeling a lot of just like energy, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
That could be, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a lot for you. But I feel like the main thing that I'm seeing is that you struggle a lot with your mom's passing and just feeling as connected to her anymore. You know what I'm saying? Even though I do get the feeling that she is around you a lot. So
Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
you're fine.
Annie has a lot to say.
I thought that her mother was alive. Why am I confused? What happened here? Did I not go back far enough?
My stepfather is
My mom's
And
sure that again.
how does that make sense to you?
because we were always disconnected, and right now, my stepfather is in the hospital, and my brother isn't around helping. I have her dogs right here.
Her
Okay.
dogs.
Let me ask you this too. Would this make sense to you if she's talking about
Okay, let's go back to the very beginning. I'm sorry, you guys. I have to listen to this again.
is there something that I would be seeing where you are trying to like deal with something or sort out something with your brother?
Well, my brother and I have always been disconnected.
Okay. And and how does that make sense to you?
Because we were always disconnected, and right now, my stepfather is in the hospital, and my brother isn't around helping. I have her dogs right here.
Okay. Let me ask you this too. Would this make sense to you if she's talking about watching over Edward or Eddie?
Okay, so he must have known that the mother has died and her husband is in the hospital right now, but mom has died. And where I got confused is because the woman says, I have her dogs right here. I'm having to care for them because my stepfather is in the hospital. We took him to the hospital. So, and then I think her father is also in the hospital. His name is Edward. And his wife, who is now her stepmother, is friends. She's, I think all four of these people were friends. And yeah, it's kind of confusing. So I think that there's a couple and they divorced and they married other people in their friend group, and that they still stayed friends. And one of them died. The woman died. The mother of this woman here died, Christine. And so both of the men in the same friend group were named Edward. One's called Ed and the other one's called Edward. And it makes sense. In America, it's common to name your child Junior, after you. So the brother's name is Edward and she's Christine. And so he must have already known that the mother had died, because from the context of her talking about, we took my stepfather to the hospital and I have her dogs here and I'm trying to take care of everyone. That made me think that her mother is still alive. So I don't know who she's talking about, that we took him to the hospital, because her brother isn't helping her. He has nothing to do with that. So it must be somebody else took him to the hospital, a family friend, a neighbor, a cousin, something else, her child. Anyway, that was a little confusing, but he must have already known that. But that was odd. Now, if the mother hadn't died, now let's think about this a second. If he messed up and he said, your mother is telling me, as if your mother is dead, would this woman correct him on screen and say, no, that doesn't make sense. My mother is alive. Why are you talking as if my mother is dead? Would she have corrected him, or would she have continued going on talking about, talking about Edward and somebody's health issues and the dogs, and would she have corrected him? Now that's an interesting psychological kind of thing. And I don't know if I have the answer. Some people are so motivated, just so motivated, that they don't want to embarrass or correct the medium, because if they correct the medium, then it's going to mean the rest of the reading is probably going to go away and we're going to end it right there. He's going to say, oh, I guess I wasn't connected to you, because that doesn't make any sense. And she may be justifying it to herself that he means her grandmother, not her mom. Her grandmother's watching, and the grandmother is saying, you're taking care of Diane and Edward and something and dogs like that. So maybe in the woman's mind, she would be justifying it by saying it that way. And I really would be interested in talking to this woman. Not that I'm ever going to know who she is or talk to her, but isn't that fascinating to think about it? We might be wrong. I might be wrong. It's me. You guys probably already have made up your mind. And that she really was dead. And I made the mistake of inferring it. But yeah, think about that. What do you guys think? In the middle of the reading like that, if she realized to herself that he was making a mistake, it's not my mom that's dead. My mom is alive. I have her dogs right here. I'm taking care of them because her husband, Ed, is in the hospital. My mom and I, took Ed to the hospital and her dogs are right here. Would she say, no, Thomas, you've got that wrong. It's not my mom, because my mom's not dead. I don't know. Somebody should do a study on that. But fascinating. Anyway, so there's more. Another one he puts out, I guess, a day or so later, is wearing a different outfit. I don't feel like looking at it right now. This is going to be at least an hour. I'm curious about what's been going on in Thomas John, if anything has changed. I don't see a lot of change. It seems pretty typical, but I'm surprised his health looks okay and he hasn't aged that much. I would think that he's, you know, after not predicting the fires in LA, and he had to flee the fires, by the way. His partner, his boyfriend, I have videos of his boyfriend in their apartment, in their home, talking about the boyfriend saying, I don't know if we should flee or not. I just don't know. You know, this is getting really scary, and we're going to evacuate and everything. I've never released those videos because it's the boyfriend who's talking. And at no time does the boyfriend say, Thomas John, you know, my psychic boyfriend, or my psychic boyfriend or husband hasn't given me any kind of, you know, what we should be doing. So I've never released those videos, but I have those videos. So interesting. Looking for your comments. This should be fascinating. Please, somebody who has some time in the hands, go check this out. I bet it's on TikTok. It could be on Facebook. It really could be on Facebook, but he hasn't been on Facebook a lot lately. He's mostly been on TikTok. And you bring forth the person live, you know, bring him forward and on these live readings. So it's probably sitting there. I just can't see it. And see if you can find the string of these people. Make lots of screenshots if you find them, and we can do a video on it. We can look at if these people's social media actually says what he just said about Edward and you know, Cindy and Jamie and Ohio. So that'd be fascinating. I'm gonna make myself I'm gonna put a little star beside this, hoping that somebody will get back to me with that. Anyway, I will move on with my life today. I've got a lot of things to do. I hope you guys found this entertaining and interesting. I certainly do. And I don't like looking at these things by myself, but if I make the video with you, I am not alone. That's how I tell myself. Cat has not moved. Are you alive? Imogen. Imogen. Yeah, she's live. All right. She's 17, you guys. Okay. Take care, everyone.